is that time for Average Rants. And we're here.
We're here. It's been a busy day.
It has been a busy day. Especially since you got here 20 minutes early and then just got back.
Yeah, had to go get the old laptop cord.
Yeah, need the laptop cord so that people want to see us on the YouTube there, eh? They can.
Well, the battery will make it for about an hour, but after that,
So, this is Average Rants here at KNMC 90.1 FM. You can follow us on Twitter, not Twitter, on Facebook. I don't know how to do Twitter.
yeah, I stopped doing Twitter.
And
It just wasn't.
on YouTube,
And
just look up Average Rants. Apparently, that name has never been used.
I can't imagine why.
People are a little bit more than average then.
Most likely. Too bad we're not average golfers.
Not anymore.
We are way below average golfers.
I don't know. I got 49 today.
We played 9 holes.
Yeah.
Par is
36. Yeah, it was good.
It's all good.
What is the date today?
The 27th.
It was 28th.
28th. And I
look at my watch.
dropped my phone outside.
On Monday, June 28th, the Pep and Park program will be happening from 9 a.m. to noon. It's a good chance for kids to go and play some games, do some crafts, special event kind of stuff for elementary school age children only. So no adults. Adults can just watch their kids play. Tuesday, June 29th, swim lessons session 3 signups at 4 p.m. at the Haver Community Pool lobby. Session 3 will run from July 6th to 16th. For info, call 265-5781. I said the number on the radio, but who sits at the radio with a pen at the ready?
Nobody.
I was just thinking of that as I was saying it. I was like, who's going to really be like...
But this means that they're going to have to go back and check Average Rants out on YouTube.
Yeah, it's the only
to
way.
get the phone number.
If you want that phone number, I'm not saying it again. You have to go on YouTube.
Or you could just check the
video.
paper.
Nope. Don't give them the clues. Doesn't make any sense. So you were a little busy, so I found kind of an interesting story that I thought was...
Your wife says she barely hears. I don't know how
It
to
was a little entertaining.
how do you turn your mic up?
Like that. There it goes.
Crank it. Or it should be better. Super low volume.
But we'll figure it out.
That's because you used it yesterday.
Yeah, but on my computer.
You broke it.
So in India, the head of the world's largest family passed away.
Whoa, really?
Oh, you're looking at the numbers?
Yeah. Jeez.
So this is one man had 39 wives and 94 children.
That dude gets fist bumped. 39 wives?
Yeah.
Can you make it a day without upsetting your one?
She loves me unconditionally.
Yes, but she gets mad at you at least once a day.
Well, everybody has.
Now multiply that by 39.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know how you do more than one.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Well, I mean, and like I read the article while you were gone there, and they live in the same 4-story house with 100 rooms in it.
Nice.
So all of these women are fine, I guess.
It's better than the Sister Wives. Have you seen that show?
The which?
The Sister Wives?
No.
The sisters who marry the same guy?
Are they twins?
It's a show on TLC, and TLC is just getting weird. All right? Like that. I know. That just seems like a headache that I would never want to deal with.
Well, it is a different culture because we are talking in India.
They're not actually sisters? Then why do they call it the Sister Wives?
No, that's...
Apparently your wife has seen the show.
But I don't know. It would be hard to remember all 94 of your kids' name, and then give them the attention.
One.
This is pinnacle for.
It wouldn't be that hard. You're 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you remember the Grinch, the animated one that came out this year?
Do I what?
Was it the Grinch? No, it was Who? Horton Hears a Who?
Yeah.
And in that, the dad had like 34 kids or something. And he only had 1 minute to spend with them a day. So they went through a line, like a conveyor belt. And he would ask them questions and be like, and then it would switch to the next one.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't even know. I feel like every kid here would be neglected from their dad. And like the picture here shows them, and it looks like it's like youngest to oldest, because you've got like teenage and like adult age kids.
Well, and people don't, and in other countries like India and China, I mean, they start getting married and having children far earlier than we do.
Yes.
here in the
and it is a completely
States.
different culture, but it's just kind of interesting too.
Like, I mean, that dude probably fathered his first child when he was, what, 15?
Well, I don't know what it'd be like over there. Like, how do you afford that?
Well, just based off of it's a great movie, that if you have 84 cents in your pocket, you can pretty much own most of the country if you've ever watched
But I don't
a Euro Trip. But
I don't believe India is one of the poor countries, is it? I think it's like second world.
It might have one of the larger economies, but I don't know about average income per person.
Yeah. I just know that there's a lot of nice things out there. But I don't know what the
Cows, man. They love their cows.
Cows and goats.
So,
like
but they actually have McDonald's, but they don't serve hamburgers.
Well, no, because you can't.
Yeah.
But it made me remember. Did you ever see the movie Meet the Zohan?
No, because
that movie, the main bad guy really hates Adam Sandler's character because he stole his goat. You took my goat.
You took my goat. Yeah, well.
No, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. And there was another one. They found the remains of a guy.
I did see that.
That had died 3,000 years ago, and they believe it was the first victim.
Well, he had over 800 wounds that they could detect on his skeleton.
Well, maybe he got thrown in the water, and then they chomped.
Sharks have lots of teeth, man. So it's not hard, it's not hard to get 800, wounds when, you get bitten by a shark. But
yes, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I like how it's like, it's the first victim of a shark bite.
Earliest known shark attack victim. I'm really, man. Those guys had it rough back in the day. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't imagine actually having to survive.
Well, okay, so here's you got to eat, right? And the only thing there is to eat, and one of the main food sources is a 20-foot tall giant woolly mammoth that you have to kill with a stick with a rock on the end of it. You got to convince 10 of your buddies to go with you.
And I had a conversation with a kid maybe about like a year ago when I asked him why he needed a semi-automatic to hunt deer.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, in case I miss. I was like, what would he do if he was using spears? Have rapid fire spears going?
1, 2, 3.
He'd be exhausted.
I can only carry like 6. They're too big. Well, make the first shot count.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like sometimes things are just getting too easy.
Well, I'm glad they're getting easy because my shower would really suck if they weren't.
I did like that out of everything we've done, the happiest I've seen you is when you cut that shower pan and it fit.
Perfect. I was like, yes!
You did something.
Well, that's the first thing that we've done that's actually like non-destructive. Everything else has been rip this out, clean that up,
Yeah.
Sure up the plumbing that may have been a little wonky before,
And we fixed it.
We did.
And we're going to make
it wasn't our fault it was messed up. We fixed it.
We are going to make it so that the next person.
All I know is that Shaq can stand under my shower now.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall shower. I'm going to laugh. If you got to tell me, though, if Amanda can't reach the shower.
Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to.
Derek, come adjust it. Get the stool.
No, but it's going to give that for real because we did the raindrop style. So it's going to be legit. It's going to feel like it's raining.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool. We'll get that all going. And have a nice shower, and then she'll make us do something
I
else.
like it when we're on the golf course. It's like, dude, don't worry. Today it's only going to take us like 2 hours. I think you showed up at noon and we stopped 2 hours, and we didn't even get to the part you said that was going to take 2 hours. The drive.
We've been kind of just half walking it.
Uh-huh.
You kind of get in my way a little bit.
Do I?
No, I don't know.
Hey,
I
will gladly sit there and drink a 6-pack of Molson and
We haven't
cheer you
drank
on.
anything yet. Maybe that's why it's taking so long.
No, oh, God, if we start drinking.
Well, that's what we're doing tonight.
And Mario Golf?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get the shower done first.
Well, we're going to get the drywall, and we got to get the weatherproofing, right? The waterproofing up.
Drywall, and then we got to put the waterproofing
And then you can't do anything because it's got to dry, right?
Mm-hmm. Give it 24 hours.
So tomorrow it looks like we're putting in a floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to start some tile the day after that. Sweet.
Well, let's
Give us some
get some
tunage.
music.
Some tunage. And for those of you on YouTube, we are going to talk about, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I wanted to I'm going to try to find songs from Canadian artists that I liked.
Well, you just might as well hit the Bryan Adams mixtape, dude.
Well, that's going to be there. But right now, we're going to do. Just hope it's not too bad, because I know that they have explicit, but not everything is explicit.
The Tragically Hip.
All right, yeah. Tragically Hip. Here's 38 years old, based on a true story.
So we should a little bit of sports stuff here. We can get into. We started playing a little Dark Alliance too, but I saw yesterday. It could have changed today because baseball is played every day. But the top 3 hitters in the league for home runs, one of them is the pitcher that I was telling you about. He's participating in the home run derby. He's behind in the home run count by 1.
Even though he can't hit in half of the game.
Yeah, right. Like he only plays like once every 3-4 days.
That's ridiculous.
And he's got 25 home runs. I think the leader's got like 26. It's pretty crazy. And I know you're looking forward to it. The Montreal Canadiens are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning for Lord Stanley's Cup. Who you got? I got Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
I got Tampa in 5. I think the Canadiens
Tampa Bay in 4.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't like Montreal.
I think Montreal is still a game, but
if it was Toronto, it'd be a good game.
It would be go to 7 in Montreal. But we already know how that worked out because it did go to 7.
That's because in Montreal they have bad water. All the Toronto players got sick.
Oh, yeah? Sick of trying. But I think Tampa Bay's got way too much firepower. I mean, good God.
Has it every time that they played against?
But I mean, Alexander Kucherov. You got Steven Stamkos. I mean, Kucherov had 7 points in 3 games.
What's Montreal got besides Gary Price?
And that's all they need.
Hey, but tell me, who's their goal scorers?
I don't know.
Then why are they in the final?
Because apparently Toronto likes to lay eggs against really crappy
so
teams.
does everybody else. Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg went over. Did they swept to Winnipeg, didn't they?
The only team that's taken them the whole distance was Toronto.
And I think Toronto's got just as much firepower as you guys, if not more.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it, they have a better goalie than you guys do, too. Andrei Vasilevsky's, he's the Vezina Trophy 2 of the last 3 years. Which, for those who don't know what the Vezina Trophy is, that is the MVP of goalies, basically. He's the best goalie in the league.
Yeah, they had to give an award to a goalie.
They give an award to a defensive player and an offensive player, too, you know. So that'll be fun. That starts tomorrow? I'll look it up.
I'm not sure.
Well, seriously, it's just my phone is jacked up. I dropped it right on the face on the concrete as I was getting here today.
So it's not working now since you did.
No, it's working. It's just cracked.
Oh, you actually broke the whole thing?
Well, it's a piece of that safety glass over the front, but yeah. Yep, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
It's good times. Oh, yeah. Oh.
What?
We lose people every time we start talking about sports. Like, screw these guys. And then the other two, we'll leave when we start talking about nerdy stuff.
Yeah. Flip flops.
Disney World's gorillas go viral after snake enters their enclosure.
Did they freak out?
I would imagine so. I'd imagine people like don't realize that animals and people we're all animals, right? In the animal kingdom, we probably have the same response to like animals have the same response to things that they're scared of that people do, right? Like,
Yeah, probably. Oh man, on the golf course the other day, by the water, I was walking. I thought it was a dead snake, and it wasn't a rabbit, but it was like it looked thick, and I was like, Jesus, that thing's big. So I took out my ball grabber and extended it.
You touched it and it moved?
I touched it, and it was like, and it just like freaked out. I guess it was sleeping.
Don't play with the snakes, Barry.
Well, I can do what I want from that far away.
And
Can you imagine running and seeing that? Oh man, it was so big. It had to have been like 8 or 9 feet.
where did that? Must have been a bull snake or something. I don't know. I've never seen it. I can't hear it.
I know. I'm playing 2 Tragical Hip songs in a row.
Oh, well, that would be decent.
You don't even know. The hip is the way to beat.
The Tragically Hip.
Mm-hmm.
It's warm outside.
Not in here. I'm starting to get cold.
That's all you talk about, Barry, is how you get cold. Oh, so a restaurant got hit with a 1-star review after the owner splits bartender's $16,000 tip.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I read
about
that. I read that right. $16,000 tip.
I heard about the tip. I didn't hear that the owner did something to it.
Now, the thing is, it was on a $38 bill,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people just started shaming the guy. He didn't have anything to do with it, honestly. All of the waitress staff and apparently the cooks have a deal that they split the tips. And it's not the first time I've ever heard of this, but people were shaming the guy for it. He's like, it's not my. I don't do anything with it. They all agreed that they would split their tips. So, I guess like right now, with the way things are right now, I mean, 16, Jesus.
It's like the housing market. Tip values are going up too.
Feel free to send a few tips our way.
Nobody tips us.
No, they don't.
They're just like, well, no, they do. They're like, maybe next time don't talk so much about sports. Stop breathing so much when you talk.
We talk nerdy.
We do.
Subway just, oh man. Some of the stories I find out here are just crazy.
Just. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, maybe we should save that for when we get on the radio for local.
Local. What do we got local?
I was going to talk about the chickens that have been running around town.
Oh. I haven't seen any, but yeah. Well, we got a rabbit problem at our house, and I wouldn't really say it's a
They're
problem.
so adorable.
But they just lay out and stretch out in our front yard. Like one day I was washing the dishes and I looked up and there was like a massive rabbit orgy going on in my front yard. There was like 10 of them. I'm like, what the?
Did you film it?
No.
Yeah, good. That's disgusting.
It is.
Give them practice.
It's so cute. Yeah,
they're wrestling.
They're hugging. Yeah,
have you ever seen 2 rabbits actually fight?
Oh, no. Well, we were out hunting, pheasant hunting, and we were out bird hunting, and my cousin's dog jumped up a jackrabbit. The dog made the mistake of actually catching the jackrabbit. And when rabbits fight, they do that cat thing where they just kick.
Oh, yeah.
And
claws.
that poor dog's face was just shredded. And I look over and I see my cousin, and he's got the butt end of his gun, and he is just butt whipping the crap out of this rabbit so it will get off his dog.
Yeah, we had 2 rabbits, and when they would fight each other, we had to get in there, and you have to be careful because if you get in the middle of that,
Feet, fur, and claws, man.
Yeah. Or we come back from like dinner, and it'd be like there was a murder in here.
Rabbit fur everywhere.
And then they're just sitting there, be like,
well, and it's a defense mechanism too. I believe cats do it too. Like they will, like if they're like totally mortified, they will just start shedding fur, so they can't grip them.
Yeah, they're molting.
Yeah,
Defensive molting.
Yeah.
All right.
So we get to go to your chickens.
All right. That was Little Bones. 2 tragically hip songs. One of my favorite Canadian bands.
Tragically
hip. They've been honored many a times in Canada, and when I believe it was their.
So you got Celine Dion in there, right?
I'll throw her in there.
I was gonna say,
Bryan Adams is next.
I was gonna say you've got very few to choose from, so you better take everything you can get.
Oh no,
right?
I've got lots to choose from. I just want to pick the ones that I like.
So you were gonna talk about the chickens.
Yeah, I mean, we are in Havre. We should talk about the story that is going on with.
I haven't heard anything about it.
You haven't heard about the chickens?
So
like, I was looking it up on like Facebook and stuff, and there's been chickens just all over town, and people are like, "Hey, there's a chicken in my garage. If it's yours, come get it." But what's been happening is the Humane Society, of course, is coming and getting them, and then it's 100% illegal
to own a
chicken within city limits.
Yep.
So then you'll see that same chicken in like a cage from the Humane Society saying, "If you want your chicken back, please visit the Havre Police Department." They now have your chicken. So it's like you go, how much does it cost me to get a chicken versus pick up the fine and get my chicken back?
Right. I think this is how people are gonna get caught.
Yeah, I just thought it was so
well,
funny.
It's not my chicken, but I'll take it.
I hear you got some chickens down here at the police station.
I don't live in town. Excuse me, sir. What's your address? I don't remember.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
My chicken came down across the border. And
well, I know lots of people have chickens, and they give us their fresh chicken eggs, and I'm not gonna lie, they're better than the ones you get at the store.
You know, I mean, I know why people have them, but I don't know. I get the ordinance because I mean, otherwise they might have way too many chickens. But people are just doing it anyway.
Well, they have issues in like the southern states where they're written to the point where the chickens are feral. Like they have wild chickens running around the towns, and they actually pay people to run around and catch them in a net. I saw it on an episode of Dirty Jobs once. Mike Rowe is just hauling down the street, chasing after a chicken with a fishing net.
I would love that job.
It's 100 degrees in Arizona.
Yeah, but then I would just go buy one of those shotgun nets.
Right?
Like,
if we're going to do this, we're doing it right.
Oh, yeah. And then like people would be like, "Oh, man, there's the commando chicken hunter."
So this is what we do. Night vision goggles, net guns, tranq darts, paintball guns. We're going to make it happen.
Yep. And chicken nuggets to scare them as we're walking towards them.
Slowly take a slow bite of the nugget as we're walking towards them.
Would that be come on? Like, I mean, now I'm just picturing us starting like a pest control and only deal.
We could do it with not so get rid of the paintball and do airsoft. I think airsoft guns would be powerful enough to knock a chicken out or even kill it. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we could use the beanbag shotgun, but I've actually seen that. When I was working at the hospital in Vancouver, a guy came in and he had said some inappropriate things to the female cops as he was running away.
They got
So they shot him from like 3 feet away with one.
Ouch.
And they couldn't find the beanbag. So after a cop shoots the beanbag, they have to retrieve it for the report.
They had to pull it out of that poor guy, didn't he?
So they thought it maybe was in him. And the doctor was like, "I didn't see anything." And he had him half sewn up because it sliced his leg open.
Yeah.
It had went in his leg and shot up his leg because the doctor undid the threads and started poking around because the guy was passed out and grabbed this thing that looked like a little piece of hair and he tugged on it and you could see in the top of his leg this little ball. start moving towards him. He's like, "Oh, I found it."
When are guys going to learn to just not push the big red button on females? Like, I'm just going to poke the grizzly bear until it eats me.
Well, to me, it's one of those things where, women they were oppressed,
Right.
like big time.
And still are.
So yeah, so now when you get a woman that has that kind of power, and they feel, like a guy says something, they're gonna show them that it don't matter.
You do it to my wife all the time at the hockey rink, and she chases you with a stick. You're just lucky she can't catch you.
That's why I do it. That's why I stay on my skates. I only try to make your wife upset when I'm on skates, because then I feel like I have an advantage.
You have the advantage. You can actually outrun her on skates. Even though you're enclosed and locked in, that area is big enough where she can't.
I've been surprised over the years, because there's times that I'm getting off the ice and I'm like, is she just waiting outside the locker? She's like, let's see who's faster now. There's only one way out of that room.
You know how to slow a guy down? Take him out at the knees. If he can't skate, he can't score.
I'm gonna Tanya Harding me.
And we all see like the back of everybody's like, oh, they get a lot of padding, but on the back of your legs in hockey equipment, there's nothing there. So if you take something to the back of the leg, it's just meat and tendons.
Yeah, I've had people tell me, they're like, you guys are crazy to stare right at a puck while it's coming at you. I was like, because if I turn around, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah, I took one in the side of the head playing goalie this year. I should have because I seen it. I was looking right at him like, oh, it's gonna hurt. So I turned my head. Naturally, you do that. It's a natural response. And I took it to the side of the head, and it just keeled me over.
Yeah, I'll wake you up.
Yeah, it's loud. Just imagine putting a 5-gallon bucket on your head and somebody just hitting it as hard as they can with a drumstick. That's what it sounds like when you get hit in the head with a helmet on.
I'm pretty sure my sisters did that to me when I was a kid.
Just
because it worked.
It would explain a lot.
Can you feel that?
Oh, man.
When am I going to get to shoot pucks at you again?
When we finish my bathroom.
How about if I get a new house and set something up?
Well, there you go. Well, I can set something up in my house. My house full of the bathroom stuff at the moment, which is slowly yet surely coming together.
Dude, we're going to get that done.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. It'll be done in like a week.
Right now, we have time to play. Well, to say this because I think your wife's listening.
She is in Kalispell. She's sitting on Flathead Lake drinking beer, listening to us, which is what everybody should be doing today.
Yeah, we were talking about if we wanted to time lapse us doing the bathroom.
Oh, it would just be a lot of.
We thought it'd be a lot of what the heck and arms raised
and pointing
and then, like slices on our fingers. And
someone might hold a hammer over the top of someone.
Yeah, it has been an experience.
Well, every time I'm like, all right, I got all the nails pulled out of the studs. There's another nail. I'm like, God.
Well, and when we go to put up the drywall and we think it's perfectly cut, you're going to feel another nail. When I was doing it, I put mine up and I was like, why won't it go? And then I pushed it a little harder. And
nail came right through.
Damn it.
Well, and the nice thing is we don't have to make it super perfect because we're just going to tile over the top of all that. So it doesn't
we are going to Jimmy rig it.
It's going to look nice.
Yeah. We're gonna make it so beautiful that people think it was a professional, but then when somebody comes into that house to take it down, they're gonna realize it wasn't.
Because it's not coming off the walls, man.
I should be good.
We're good. We got it.
All right,
A little more.
I feel like everybody is wanting to hear Bryan Adams now.
That depends on the Bryan Adams song.
I'm not.
No,
playing.
It does not matter.
It does not. But I'm not playing Summer 69 because that is played on every radio station.
No, you got to do it. Cuts Like a Knife or anything like that.
You want Cuts Like a Knife? Sure,
yeah, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying something or Run to You is a good one.
Yeah, let's do Run to You. All right, here's some great Canadian artists coming at you. Bryan Adams, Run to You.
The Canadian rocker. Wow.
What?
Well, I try and do non-political stories, and unfortunately, it's all political, and I don't want to get into anything really political, you know. I just bing. Oh yeah, kids playing in the lake. Why aren't we at the lake?
Oh, what? No, you're
I know. I saw it.
ridiculous.
We should be at the lake. It's really nice out today.
Let's go to the lake. She can build a bathroom. Sorry, I can hear the Bryan Adams.
You can hear that. Here you can hear the Sweet Alchemist had it right. Fool's gold. Pyrite may hide real gold. They have a bunch of that out in South Town in the Bear Paws. That pyrite, iron pyrite. You can see it in the creeks. Banks. Your wife's sending random stuff, man. Is she drinking?
Maybe.
So my kid is apparently a daredevil, and he likes to do everything on his own. Yesterday he had their luggage set up, and he had it about 2 feet from the couch, and he was jumping from the luggage onto the couch. Although he's not a very strong jumper.
Or he thinks he can walk on air.
Yeah, I could step across here even though there's nothing here. Yeah, they're running to you.
So he just took the inner tube out by himself. With his life jacket on or something.
I'd imagine so. He's crazy.
I'm gonna assume probably with his life. I would have freaked out if I saw Persephone out there without her life jacket, just with a tube.
This is kind of interesting. I saw this the other day. I didn't think anything of it then, but this woman wore the same Hawaiian shirt to 264 Zoom meetings. No one noticed.
Why would we?
You definitely know. You don't even notice when your wife gets her haircut, do you?
No.
Well, neither. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, like your wife, since I've known you, has had the same hairstyle. And so when they're like, I get a haircut, I'm guessing they take like what, less than a half inch off? To get rid of the split ends?
She gets a good chunk, but I mean, I don't know. The only time I notice is I can tell when it's a humid day.
I heard her hair is extremely curly. But no, unless they do something drastic with their hair and they're like, "You like my hair today?" I'm like, "I love your hair."
Well, it's like one of those things. So if something good happened to you every day, like just like normally good, you're not going to notice it. You notice bad things,
right?
So if that Hawaiian shirt,
that's what I'm saying is like, unless the hair changes like drastically, you're not going to notice.
Well, and the other thing too is how does she know that nobody noticed? Did she one day just be like, did anybody notice that I had this shirt on the whole time? And then I'd be the one guy that was like, did you wash it? Right? Like I think that's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's one of those. It kind of sparks that talk. Like, why should have people noticed? Why did they need to pay attention? How many people were in the meeting?
Right.
Or are you looking at the Satan house or whatever, Hell House?
Yeah, it's listed at over $500,000, and it's geez.
Oh yeah, there's people looking at it.
Let's get out of that.
People have been looking at it. It's so the story for that one was because we were watching the news and it came on. It's a house. I can't remember exactly where.
It's in Colorado.
The tenant was getting evicted because it was being rented, so they destroyed the whole house before they left.
Oh man!
Because you only have that deposit down, right? And so they completely destroyed it, spray painted the walls, everything, so that you'd have to replace pretty much everything to fix it. Sure, you could paint over the walls, but they spray painted the toilet, the sink, and then wrote stuff all over it. They burnt some of the carpet.
Feces and urine everywhere, from what I read, yeah.
And because it got so much publicity, people, and because of the market where there's so many people that want to buy, but not enough houses to fit
Let's be honest. I mean, if all they did was spray paint and deface, they didn't destroy, like rip out the walls and all that stuff. That's all superficial anyway.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff you think could be fixed, but because of the destruction.
Okay, this is just a funny headline, the way they have this worded. Discovery about naked giant carved in English hillside arouses scientists. I'm thinking they could have used a different word there. But, you know. Oh, this poor little dog got sucked up in a dust devil, like a mini tornado. Yeah.
I got so into our talk that I forgot to put on my next Canadian song, so I went to Eddie Money.
Oh, he's not Canadian.
Because I can't hear the music really, so I keep not noticing when it switches. Take me home tonight. Oh, man.
So, this guy was arrested. A California Tesla driver was arrested while riding in his back seat.
Well, yeah, because you are still required to be in the driver's seat.
He was arrested for alleged reckless driving, but told reporters that riding in the back seat isn't dangerous, and he will continue to do it.
It is dangerous. Even the Tesla warning thing says just stay in the
front seat.
Yeah, just in case something happens and it has to disengage.
Well, it doesn't steer itself, does it?
Oh yeah, it completely will drive. You can. The way that Tesla works is you can call it on your phone and it'll drive to where you are.
Something tells me that is.
All right. And we're back live. And that was Take Me Home Tonight. Which
apparently
is not a Canadian.
That is not a Canadian thing.
But it is a good song, so I just loved it.
No, you spaced out.
I did, but it was still a good song. Take me home tonight.
Yeah. Check your message. Leave the singing to the professionals, apparently.
How did they do that before I even sang?
You sang before. You were singing it before on YouTube.
Oh, well, I wasn't actually trying to sing. If I was going to sing, I would melt all the ladies' hearts. So I'll just save that for my wife. But yeah.
So cool.
What's cool?
Stupid. How do I make it stop?
You can just mute the volume on yours, right?
Maybe.
Derek's still learning computers.
Started learning in Bucharest. You can go which is Transylvania. You could go to the actual castle that Bram Stoker's Dracula is based on, where Vlad the Impaler lived, and get your COVID shot. They set it up as a COVID vaccination center.
And if you want, you can donate some blood.
Right? So instead of taking a stab to the heart, you can just get a stab in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Talk about a weird dude in history. I mean, like, that guy is considered a hero from where he's at, but from everywhere else, he's a little off. But they're like, well, he stopped a major battle. Well, yeah, he impaled his entire army, and when the other army showed up to fight, they're like, no.
You want this to happen to you?
Well, and they have figured out that if you do it right, if you have been impaled apparently properly, you could live through it for several days in agony while being skewered with a post. You'll live.
I don't want to test that.
No. Ancient well, not I guess it's not so much ancient, but they were very good at torturing people.
Can you imagine doing that? And then like people are walking by, you're like, hey, don't go there. He's not a nice man.
He's not a nice man, but he's considered a hero of his country. I guess he did stop the invaders from coming in, but he sacrificed a bit of his army to do it.
Hence the name.
Did you know that in certain places, though, in the United States, that if you go get a COVID shot, you get entered to win $1 million?
Yes.
And I got the double dose, so I'd have been in twice.
Well, it counts as one.
No, you get the two.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that there's some places that are doing scholarships.
Right.
So if you go get one and you get drawn, they'll give a scholarship to a kid in your family.
I know in some places that you just show your vaccination card, you get free food. Here's a burger, milkshake, whatever.
We should have waited and not done anything until we got that free taco.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm not gonna. That one's yeah.
Oh, did they? Yeah, but that's a bit more for YouTube.
Yeah, we will not discuss that one.
Yeah, it's a little political.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Woman's home. Oh yeah. Did you see that poor woman who had 20 condors just hanging out at her house in California?
No.
Like for 3 weeks, these birds just would not leave her house. Now, this would freak me out because condors usually only show up when things are dead or dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about you and your house? It's just like a large lump box. I'm just waiting for her to keel over.
I really like nature, and it doesn't matter what it is. I still feel weird when something out of the ordinary happens.
But is that out of the ordinary?
For them just to be hanging around your house?
Well, I mean, I had a massive bunny thing going on in my house.
And does that happen every day?
No.
Right? So that occurrence was one of those things you're like, what is happening right now? Is there special grass in my lawn?
Something.
But I mean, I was golfing the other day and
you poked a snake.
Well, there was a deer that was behind me, and the guy I was golfing with, he's like, hey, Barry, check out behind you. I thought he was trying to screw up my swing. And I looked back, and there was a deer 20 feet away from me. And then I have a video, the picture of it, it came right up to me and tried to eat my ball out of my hand. So it was just random, but clearly it was a deer that somebody was feeding. Which also means it was a buck that will not live too long. Because that is the thing, right? The more you feed it, the more comfortable it's around people. So Bambi's about to become a meal next hunting season. But I don't know, is the golf course in city limits or is that up on the outskirts?
It's out on the outskirts, but it's private property, so you couldn't hunt there if you wanted to. And unless they decided to allow somebody to do it. But that would be where'd you got that one? The ninth green.
I got a hole in one.
Split her right down the middle. Yeah.
So, any other news?
Well, there is, but it's like I said, the news lately is just a little not fun.
Yeah, there is a lot of that, kind of. It's some of that political news that I don't find it to be useful. It doesn't affect anybody that much unless you're a politician or I know this is getting kind of political, but I am hating right now the fight that is going on for voting rights.
Well, yeah, the fact that they're trying to allow you can actually intimidate voters while they're at the polls.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't care which way you're voting. Nobody wants that.
And closing down polls early so certain people can't vote. Yeah. But that's political and it's garbage and no one should have to, even if you're not voting or whatever, no one should have to deal with that at any time, let alone while you're trying to vote.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should have the right. Like, what would they do if they made it so that it was illegal not to vote? Like, you have to vote. If they find that you didn't vote, then you are fined. But then they have all these things that make it so it's really hard to vote.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know it's different. Like, I don't get to vote down here. I never get to vote down here.
You do in the local elections, I believe.
I don't know. That I'd have to look at.
I believe you do in the local elections.
But, like, back home, I can't think, like, you are required by law to give people 2 hours off of work to go vote.
That's a law here too.
And
So they're trying to get rid of some stuff like that, but
I mean, nobody in Canada, nobody argues that. Nobody argues the fact that people should be able
and
to
if
vote.
you're in, and if they say the polls close at 8:00, but you are in line at 7:59 to cast your vote, and it's 8:04, you still you still get to vote.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there are bills going in, and they're trying to push these through to eliminate this, which is complete and utter garbage.
Yeah, because in reality, you want more people
Now,
to vote. You want to get.
I'm going to get rid of I'm going to get out of the
vote.
political aspect of this, and I'm going to go. We can make this way easier. We live in a digital world.
Yeah.
Everybody lives in a digital world. We bank digitally. We do everything digitally. I shop digitally. They can set up to where everyone can vote digitally. You just have to enter your voter ID number, and that number can only be used once to cast your vote. Because you apply for hunting licenses, driver's licenses, marriage license, everything online.
But
you can do this.
To get those people that go, oh no, that it could be hacked.
Anything can be hacked.
I know, but that's just
and then they did, and then they in this last election especially, they're like, oh no, this is all. No, they have found zero evidence, and if anybody doesn't believe me, you can search to your heart's content. There is zero evidence of voter fraud, and the little teeny tiny bits of voter fraud they did find were for the wrong guy.
Yeah, people think it was going to be for the other one.
Yeah, so voter fraud is so rare. It's just terrible.
It's one of those things where they're afraid to go digital because they say that it can be hacked. But then the system right now they're saying is hacked.
And then, and we still use the electronic voting machines, the Barney, like just like computers.
Oh man, I remember that one year. It wasn't this year.
I did it by mail.
It was a couple, like when I was still in Canada. I remember you guys were having that issue where when you selected a name, it selected the wrong person on your machine.
Yeah.
I was watching a video of that happening with the guy being like, I don't know what to do here. It won't let me. If I select the guy I want, it switches to the other one.
Yeah, and that was a big issue. I did it by mail, and so I mean it was just far more convenient. But the and I've always said it, like, we need to stop the way our political system works with the party system is just completely, it's garbage. We need to just start looking at it from what do we want done and vote that way instead of voting.
Well, I told Sammy, because we have parties up in Canada, but you guys have like 2. I know you have 3, but you really have like 2. In Canada,
well, we have more than 3. We just
in Canada we have like 5, but we really have 3.
Yeah.
Because we have 3 that are like the big strong ones. But man, I hate politics so much because
it stirs conversation, but that's the reason I don't want to talk. I mean, it seems like since COVID especially, the politics has just gotten out of hand.
Well, it's just dumb. Like, so like what I told Sammy was, if you knew that Republicans or Democrats would win a certain state, I could be, so let's say if I wanted to change something to Democrat, but Republicans always win in a state, why don't I just run as, say I'm a Republican, and I start doing everything to be a Republican?
Well, there is
and then, when you finally get voted in, you're like,
what's kind of funny is there is a guy here, and both parties have their colors, red and blue, right? Well, one guy just made his signs all red. He wasn't a Republican.
Yeah.
There's no law that says you have to run on a red or a blue sign if you are, and he's always done that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it always sways you a little bit, or some voters a certain bit. I'm of the thing. I read up on everybody that I voted for. to get a general understanding and knowledge of what they stand for. And some of them, I was split. I'm like, well, I like the stuff that this guy's doing, and I like the stuff that this guy's doing. If these two could sit down like adults, which they can't, we won't discuss that, and just figure it out. They could probably meet in the middle, but they can't. They're not in it for the people. They're in it for themselves.
And I mean, this happened in Canada too. It's a little bit bigger down here, but I feel like politicians are more in it for themselves now than they ever used to be.
Oh yeah, it's about that paycheck that I'm gonna collect for the rest of my life.
And that's what I'm not liking these days. And I mean, it hasn't always been like that. Like I remember when, I'm Canadian, so it's hard for me to be way Republican. There are some things that Republicans say that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But being from Canada, free healthcare. I
lost a finger. I'm gonna go get it fixed.
Yeah, I like that. But I just don't know. It's just like when Bush. I remember when Bush was in power, and this is George W. Bush, and we were in Canada, and we used to just listen to him. He was the funniest president to listen, but at no point did we go, this guy's just ridiculous. He was just kind of funny. He
didn't know how to public speak. He was pretty bad at it.
Right, but politicians seemed to still try to help each other at that time, and they would work together to resolve a situation. And now it's like
they're getting to the point where they're trying to sabotage each other. Yeah. And it's so bad.
Like they're sitting there being like, "We're going to do this." They'll be like, "No, we'll filibuster."
My biggest.
I'm learning new terms because of the crazy.
Well, we had to take American government, so everybody learns that one. But they're trying to get rid of it, and then they try to get rid of it when it's working against them, but when it's working for them, they're like, "No, we can't get rid of that."
Exactly, and that's just it. So when Democrats are running something, they're going to try to remove things that doesn't work for them.
Right.
Where Republicans are running it, they're going to try to do stuff that doesn't work for them. And that's what I hate about it. You got to stop that. And they got to show that they're actually adults and they know what they're doing.
Man, they are not adults.
I honestly think when it's kind of like for me with the RCMP. The RCMP in Canada is like our big police force. That started as a community service position when it first was introduced. And I feel like we pay politicians way too much, and there's people that would do it for a lot less money and
just
would
to do it
right.
Yep.
And I bet you if we went and we said, you know what, we're cutting all your salaries by 50%, the ones that don't care about the job would be gone the next day.
Oh yeah. Wow. Political rants.
I know.
We're not supposed to.
I know, but it just made me so mad.
It's hard. It is hard. Politics are tough. But it's the world we're in right now.
Anyway, Buddy's humping in your front lawn.
It's cute.
But no, we do not pick sides on this. We're trying to be neutral. We do have our own personal views, but I'm not gonna say one way is right, one way is wrong.
I just want.
Everyone to get along.
I want the both sides to sit down at a table and have a legit conversation, and not just go like. Okay, first of all, you know this, and I know this very well. Kids are master negotiators because they are going to get what they want because they know the parent is just going to be like, you know what? I give up. You're going to have it because otherwise you're just going to make my life suck for the next 2 hours. And that's the way I think politics works. But I think what they need, I just wish they would sit down and go, we need to work what's broken and let's figure out how to fix it instead of going, no, it's broken, but I don't want to fix it your way, but I don't have anything better.
Yeah.
The biggest thing was the American Health Care Act, right?
Yeah.
Also known as Obamacare. I think more people hated that because of its name, not because of what it was. Because they did a poll and they asked people, which do you prefer, the American Health Care Act or Obamacare? And most of them took the American Health Care. They're the same thing. And honestly, it was adopted in Massachusetts, I believe. Mitt Romney drew it up to begin with, and they started it in Massachusetts. Yeah. So it's actually, which is really funny, a Republican started bill that the other party went, That's a good idea. We should build on it. And then one side adopted it and started going with it. And the other side's like, well, we don't want to do that.
Well, you know what? I feel like there's points when one side votes against something, and then when the vote is done and they're by themselves, they're like, oh, it sucked that I had to vote against that. Because they actually wanted to, but they're like, I'll just get fired if I agree with the other side.
They'll vote me out, or they'll...
Yeah. And I don't like that. Like,
I would do it. I would be like, you know what? I voted the way I thought that
I don't know. Maybe we're just getting older and we notice that stuff more than we.
Getting older, dude. I hit a perfect drive today, and I think I broke my arm.
Yeah, he hit a perfect drive today. Almost broke his arm, but couldn't find the ball.
That's because I went so far. I hit that thing a long ways. My shoulder's still killing me.
Oh, I'm gonna put some music on because he's about to complain.
I'm gonna complain. So you guys are going to listen on YouTube.
Some Great Big Sea, Ordinary Day.
That is definitely Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of them. It's so Canadian, I've never heard of them.
You don't know Great Big Sea?
No. That doesn't mean I want to hear it.
You've never heard this?
Nope.
On my face, I got 4 walls around
Okay,
me.
you can stop now. That's not cool. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
A child pianist cheers up lonely lemurs while dressed as an alligator.
Sounds like something.
How do you know that the lemurs are lonely?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a picture of 2.
I know. They're one of the cooler looking animals.
You ever watch Zaboomafoo?
Say that what in English?
That's the name, Zaboomafoo.
No.
It was a show that had like guys that went around and taught little kids about animals, and then they had a puppet lemur. His name was Zaboomafoo.
Well, it doesn't give me the story. I clicked on the story about the lemurs, and then it says English archaeologists dig up decapitated bodies. So, that's interesting.
Well, that's a nice. That's nice.
Oh, here it is. So each week, it's not really that. Apparently, they think that the zoo animals are bored, so she dresses up, or he, I think it's a he, dresses up in an alligator costume and goes out and plays the piano for him.
You know, I bet you they wouldn't be bored if they weren't encaged in a zoo.
Yeah, I mean, zoos. Okay, we're not talking Tiger King style zoos here, right?
We're talking actual zoos.
Right. I've been to the Phoenix Zoo a couple of times. Jesus, man.
Shut up, Derek!
You have a problem.
Have a problem!
That is a lot of candy.
No, it's just wrappers.
Oh, what was in the wrappers?
Nothing.
So, we've been to the Phoenix Zoo. I think we've been there like once or twice.
Oh, I meant to shut off.
Why? But I'm not gonna say that the animals have it rough there. I mean, they do a pretty big zoos. I'm talking. This is a huge zoo. The Phoenix Zoo is huge. They have it pretty good. I mean, you know, they get fed 3 squares a day. I mean, not saying that being out in the wild wouldn't be better. I'm just saying.
How much space do you think a bear has at a zoo?
Not nearly as much as it would like.
Right? And we're about the size of like a small bear.
No, we're not even close.
Small you are.
You saying I'm fat? I am a teddy bear, though. But, what'd you do?
I almost played 2 songs.
Oh. But they had some pretty good sized areas for these animals and stuff. I get the zoos. I get their purpose. We're just too greedy as a species.
Well,
we are the the worst invasive species on the planet. We invade
Well,
everything.
We are like one of the only, at least mammals, that can live anywhere.
Except for Antarctica.
We can live there. We have the technology.
Well, we
and
can now.
The ability to live there.
And penguins.
Yeah.
Some penguins.
But right, but I mean, if you took an emperor penguin, and put it in.
Those guys are dressed up everywhere.
Yeah, no, but you put it in freaking like Montana, it's not going to live in here that long.
Well, and they have found. They've defrosted a bunch of. What were they? They found a bunch of frozen bacteria or something, and they thawed it out and it started to live again.
And that's how COVID happened.
And then I think you know what they're called. They went into space and they survived. They're weird. You see them in the second Ant-Man movie when they're shrinking down the little parasites. I can't remember what they're called. It starts with B, I think. Anyway,
That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah,
this does not. If people on YouTube are watching, what is this?
What is this? It's a weird little. It's a creature that's really, really tiny, but they survive the trip in and out of space. And UFOs exist, just not in the sense people believe it.
Hey, they released some of that documentation.
Yeah. Yes, it's an unidentified flying object from Earth. Somebody's got something weird. And
well, they don't know, right? Because that's why it's not unidentified.
Because it's classified.
Like they unclassified a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And you got the footage from the Navy now. But the Navy footage just looks like a bad cell phone still.
Right. Billions of dollars worth of technology, and they're still getting blurry footage.
And I loved the audio. It was like, yeah, we've got something happen up front here.
Quick, hit the button before someone sees it.
Should we shoot it down?
You can't engage unless it engages you first.
That does not sound American to me. American is, it's coming at us, it's got a white flag, shoot it, and then we'll find out what it means.
Gotta watch Strange Wilderness. Have you seen that show?
No.
Oh, Strange Wilderness. They go on a hunt for Bigfoot. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
We never finished that.
Was it really worth it though?
We have one episode left.
It wasn't even about Bigfoot anymore. They talked about Bigfoot for 30 seconds in the first episode, and then the crazy dude looks like he's just way strung out on pot, and he just...
The guy that gives up his life to be a journalist?
Yeah, and he smoked way too much weed, and... him and his buddy, whose name is... What's his name? Razor?
It wasn't his buddy. That's the guy he had to talk to.
Yeah.
Razor.
My contact, who's a legit contact. Razor. Okay. We're going to go up to where the best weed ever is grown, man. To me, it turned into a document that was trying to give a pity party for guys who were doing things illegal.
Yeah. We just wanted to live free, man. And then they came into our zone that we just lived in, that we didn't know, and then took it back.
And they pulled up all our weed, and they'd smoke all our stuff.
And then it shows them like burning it, not smoking it.
It's smoking. So, yeah.
I remember where I lived, there was a big like drug house. And it had more than just like pot in it. But I remember it burned down, and I had some friends that were in that area. Mm-hmm. And cops were going door to door telling people to leave and go somewhere else because everyone was getting high from the fumes. Oh, that is cold. We're about to be up again. Gonna be live on the radio.
Whoa. Should we do a conspiracy theory rant?
We should. But you gotta let me do the top of the hour because I missed it.
Oh, good, because I can't. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you're so good.
Yeah. All right, and that was Bad Timing, Blue Rodeo. So the band is Blue Rodeo. The name is.
Let's read the story.
But you have been listening to Average Rants here on KNMC 90.1 FM here on the College Campus Radio. And that's the top of the hour. It's 4 p.m. Well, 4:05. Going by the clock I'm looking at. And I got to do a little bit of the community service. So Pepin Park program is happening at 9 a.m. to noon at the Pepin Park. It is a fun time for elementary school age kids to play some games, some crafts, and just have a little bit of fun with other kids. And what is this thing? Red Ants Pants Music Festival.
It doesn't have a date on it, though.
July 22nd to 25th.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
The weekend pass is $155. Day pass is $60. And this is, I guess, White Sulphur Springs, Montana. Is that a place?
Yes, it is.
Then that's where it is. I couldn't tell if that was like a company.
Yeah, you can go play at White Sulphur. It's yeah, it is what it is.
And I'm guessing that all of this is like the bands that are playing. And it's got like Taj Mahal. Is that a band? Because the Mavericks are a band.
I have no idea, man. I am old and out of the loop.
Well, there's a lot of bands in here. It'll probably take me a while to say them all.
Go check it out.
But yeah, if you like music festivals, that is the...
Especially now. Like, me and the wife are going to a concert in September.
Yeah.
Like everybody is a little bit cabin feverish with COVID being around. I mean, like, yeah, now we're getting out more, but still, it's been, what, a year and a half now? And you're still pretty well, you don't really get out. You don't go into huge, well, you're not supposed to, huge gatherings. But
I kind of got lucky during COVID because, I mean, my wife works for the university, so she started teaching online. And I was working for the university in a biology project where I worked by myself in the middle of the wilderness.
I know, you drugged me out there. It's really boring.
Yeah, but it was just nice.
Yeah.
You know, especially on like a nice day. And I take my dog for walks. So like when everyone's like, "Oh, I'm just cooped up in my house," I was like, "I just hiked like 7 miles."
Using COVID as an excuse not to leave your house, I thought was kind of strange. Like, you can still go outside, right?
Yeah, you just had to. If you saw somebody, throw a rock.
We are social creatures for the most part. There are a few people who live in their basement, play way too much Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Yeah, but there is.
Well, that's a lie. You can never play too much Dungeons and Dragons, but there are lots of people who just stay in their houses and play Dungeons and Dragons or any other games and stuff like that. But to each their own. But for the most part, stop it. People we're social creatures. We need to socially interact, and we started playing D&D virtually, which worked. It works fine. We do it, right? You're not listening. You're playing on your phone.
I'm listening. Jerry's making fun of the music.
Well, at least he's listening.
Yeah.
But we're very social. But when you play, like, it's different. The social interaction is different when you're online, right?
It is.
You can't read people's body posture, their facial expressions.
Well, it is. It's totally like you can still kind of hear the tone in their voice, but like people say, like sign language is a language that exists because we get so much information from body movement.
Oh, I know when my wife's mad at me, she doesn't have to say a word.
Yeah, it's because you know you did. That's
usually.
But yeah, I mean, I'm an avid gamer myself, and it's totally different. My wife notices that I act differently when I'm talking to like guildmates online.
They don't know you.
Well, it's because I can be a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I act like myself, but like, I mean, when you and I are together just by ourselves, we act differently than when one of our wives are there, or even if a kid is in the room.
Well, yeah.
Right? And like, I mean,
I know at any given moment I could say something that could get me into serious trouble.
I was looking at those golf videos from when we were drinking, and I was like, we don't act like that, but we did that day.
Right? How about a rant?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do a conspiracy rant. We haven't done one of these in a long time.
Conspiracy. I wish I had like something I could play that was like or something.
This one, it doesn't have a ton of information, but apparently there are people out there who believe that Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, is a vampire.
I could see that.
Well,
I feel like he's lived forever.
right. And here's the thing. And the reason they believe this is well, not the reason they believe it, but what might lead to it is that his family has a known history of porphyria, which is a blood disease.
It's that iron deficiency?
Yeah, which causes people to be sensitive to sunlight. Vampires really do rule the world, man.
I mean, well, going from an understanding of like White Wolf's version of vampires, which is Vampire the Masquerade.
We're getting nerdy.
Yep. It's about to get
nerdy
down
in
and nerdy in here. They're supposed to be in the shadows, and you're not supposed to know they exist.
And they control every aspect of the world and its politics.
And they do that so that they can control the humans, so that they can live and survive, and humans won't know they exist.
Well, yeah,
because if all the humans knew, it'd be like ants attacking. Yeah,
and you don't want to kill off your food source, right?
Yeah.
I suppose you could survive off of the livestock and stuff, but
yeah, but they don't. That doesn't taste good.
No, you get hair in your mouth, and it's just
and they moo.
But I thought that was I giggled when I saw that. But he is related to Vlad the Impaler. Distant relative.
I'm not gonna lie. If I went back in my family tree and they were like, Genghis Khan was your ancient relative,
that was actually a legit possibility. Do you know why?
Because he had
so many wives. Then he was
like the guy in India.
They did a genetic test that like 1 in like 30 people have DNA linked to that guy because he had so many. Because he fathered children until he was like 70.
Yeah.
And they took over. I mean, they had an empire twice the size of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, was that the Ottoman Empire?
Yeah, I mean, and they smoked the Romans. Even the Romans are like, no, we'll just move.
He's got too many kids.
And they get your bows off horses. Who can do that? They cook their food in a shield. It's weird.
They're using a wok as a shield.
It's a pot and a shield. Yeah,
this is craziness.
Crazy talk. But yeah, I mean that's a fact. I mean, they say that odds are you probably are related to him at some point, and they still don't know where his tomb is.
I'm gonna brag about that. I'm gonna go up to people and be like, "Hey, my great grandfather is Genghis Khan. You better not mess with me."
Right. I've always found that aspect of history really cool. They call them barbarians, but they ran half the planet.
Yep. And I mean, I don't know. Like I took like a history class this year, and it was very, just open to let you know what history happened without any point of view on it, just what happened. And every country is horrible.
Oh God, yeah.
They only care about one thing,
right?
Their own country.
Yeah. And it's funny. And they're like, well, you're sitting in high school, right? I remember I was a kid. This stuff is so boring. It's never going to be. It doesn't matter. It does matter. The fact that your blood, like people like, oh, I'm German and Scott. No, you're not. That couldn't be further from the truth. If you do a legit DNA test to see where you come from, it's paint on a wall. It's just a big splatter of.
There's a little bit of zebra in there.
There's all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, it's like crazy. Like people are like, I had no idea. Well, yeah, because we don't sit still.
Yeah, I don't.
What are you doing?
You're
gonna do it, aren't you?
Do it.
You guys are gonna in for a treat when Barry starts playing music again. But so there you go. A prince is a vampire.
Well, I can only go off White Wolf's version of vampires because it's my favorite ones.
It's the most legit version of it. Like Twilight, no.
Yeah, no. If a vampire came up to me and was glittery,
sparkles.
Oh boy! time for that. No, but I really like their version, and maybe it would make sense. We got the two political parties fighting each other. Maybe
they're blood-sucking vampires too. Don't let.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Maybe that's what's happening right now. Is you've got the Camarilla and the Sabat duking it out.
What?
What happened now?
What?
Did a sun go supernova?
A solar flare caused the Titanic to sink.
Is that another
conspiracy theory? These happen. Okay, people. Yes. Thank goodness our little blue marble here is actually a really cool thing. It keeps us from being roasted to death a lot. If we didn't have the magnetic field that we have, we would literally all be burned up and dead.
Or we would be lava monsters.
That's true.
That'd be kind of cool. Although if we were lava monsters.
But a recent study discovered that the northern hemisphere was experiencing a moderate to severe magnetic storm the night of the ship's collision. Similar solar flares are known to cause power outages on Earth and could have affected the ship's radar and radio rescue signals. It doesn't stop the fact that they hit a mountain of an iceberg in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that was barely the size of the Titanic.
On top of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what it looked like underneath. Do you?
Usually they're about 3 times bigger underneath than they are.
I have seen movies that have seals drifting on a little iceberg.
Right.
That then killer whales tilt it. So it's not that deep.
That's funny. You ever watch them when they kick them up in the air and then they eat them as they're like, wow. But yeah, solar flares sunk the tide. I'm not buying into that one that much.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Okay, so here's the thing. They're talking about radar there.
Mm-hmm.
Radar wasn't invented, even remotely perfected until well after World War II, which was in the 1940s. Now, remind me, when did the Titanic sink? 1916?
Oh, no, I'd have to watch the movie.
And on that note, cut to it, Barry.
Oh, here we go.
You guys are so welcome for this lead-in.
He did it for you guys.
I did it for you guys.
I even got the one from the Titanic.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's like, really?
That's why I hear this playing right. Yeah.
For those of you on YouTube and can't hear the awesome music, we are playing "My Heart Will Go On" from Titanic. And the Titanic sank in April 14th, 1912. Radar was not even remotely perfected until well after World War II. So throwing off...
No shit, because the solar flares threw it off.
Well, and here's the thing, like, Pearl Harbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saw that coming on the radar. They thought the radar was broken because they couldn't rely on it. Because it just looked like a blob coming at them. Like, that can't be right. Apparently, they should have trusted their first instinct on that one.
Well, they could have went like this. What the heck?
Let me look.
There's a bunch of planes coming.
Hey, Bill, you got your binoculars, man? Is that Jerry again?
Oh, yes. He's like, so I can only assume you two guys are making out and fondling each other during the song.
You will have to check the YouTube channel there.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know. He's at work though, right?
Yeah.
He watches us while he's working.
And also, this can't be too because radar was not invented until 1935. So to further bust that, radar hadn't invented, so of course the radar didn't work.
Well, you know,
I'm just coming here.
Stop shooting holes in everything, Derek.
That's not a shooting a hole. That's a 50 cal on a prairie dog at point blank range. That's exploding it.
No, see, That's the guy that they say invented it. They actually had the secret lab that had made radar well before. Because they were using the Roswell alien technology. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
I can hear it. I
can hear it, and you almost have to sing.
I know. I can't wait to jump back on the radio and be like, so all the basement dwellers that have been listening to us just jammed out this
Okay. What should we do now? Another conspiracy. I think we should do another. I like our conspiracies. I think they're a lot of fun.
We are good at conspiracies.
Well, there's so many. But it's choosing the right ones. And I'm going to go with... Ooh, there's so many good ones. All right, I like this one because I probably have cancer because I have a phone. 5G causes cancer and COVID-19.
What?
Ready for another byproduct of the 2020 and the global pandemic? The internet swarmed with misinformation that wireless service was responsible for diseases like cancer and even COVID-19. People, when you know this as well as I do, that people are running around destroying 5G towers because they honestly thought that they were getting diseases from 5G. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I think we should try to invent a conspiracy theory and convince people that
no, because we're not like that.
But that's what everyone else
we're
does.
already doing that by trying to convince people that we're a legitimately good show.
No, we are a good show. We've had consistent 3 viewers.
2 of those 3 are our wives.
Whatever.
They just pity us. It's a pity list.
They do. I'm like, hey, how was the show? I kind of listened to it. Oh, no, we do not want that.
Why not?
Avril Lavigne after that?
Why do things got to get so complicated?
Yeah. I think I'm going to give some people a little bit of yeah.
But yeah, so yep, she fell asleep. Your wife.
Oh, did she say that?
Yep. She's not lying.
Oh, that's okay. She's been working hard.
And on top of that, on top of the fact that they believe that 5G causes cancer, now people are coming out that the COVID vaccine has a 5G chip inside of it.
Good. They'll know if I'm sick or lost.
And I will always have signal.
That's just it. Well, you'd be like, oh, thank goodness they can track me. And then, nope, it's losing connection.
Do you know how much? I mean, I got the COVID shot. It didn't feel good. Mm-mm. Do you know how big that chip would have to be in order to do that? And the tiny little needle that they stab you with is, what is it, a nanite? I mean, geez, that technology doesn't exist. Not any type of market we've ever seen.
No. There's nothing that is small enough to be in our blood. Because, like, you got to remember, like, around our hearts are, like, the smallest veins. And if we even get a little piece of fatty tissue, and that's where heart attacks come from,
yeah,
your cholesterol, so it'll break off and it'll get jammed into that. If it's enough, and at our age, we probably had it happen a little bit where you get that pain and you're like, oh, and then it goes away. It's because it was small enough to finally pop through. But if you have one of those that's too big and it can't, as soon as it jams and it doesn't move anymore, heart attack.
I just don't understand why people are afraid of vaccines.
I don't know.
And it comes. No, I know where it comes from. I know where it comes from. It comes from politics. All right. Everything originates there.
Well, the question I have is one side saying get the vaccine because it's going to help you, and is the other side saying, because, like, I mean, you get one side that says take the vaccine because it's going to make you healthy. And then people are like,
and I want to go back outside and talk to people.
But people are saying that that's how the government's controlling you. But the other side is saying, don't get the vaccine. So doesn't that mean they're controlling you by telling you not to get it?
Yeah.
So I don't understand. It doesn't matter which one you do.
Right.
You're being controlled by one or the other.
Yeah. Just as an FYI, people, vaccines are out there to help you. It makes no sense to kill you. Then because you're
they don't get tax money when
exactly you don't pay taxes when you're dead. So it makes no sense. And why would they give it away for free if they were just trying to get your money from you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So get the shot. It ain't gonna hurt you. Your life sucks for about a day or so, but milk it.
I didn't mind it. I got to be like, oh, I'm sick, and then the man pains came.
Sammy!
Oh, please. I just can't reach the clicker.
You just need to sit up, Barry. I know! It hurts.
You don't understand.
You've never had a man cold.
Yeah.
We just got over man colds.
That was horrible. I think it was your kid with his massive booger snots.
Oh, man.
I started getting a little upset where I was like, Kingston, I'd give him a thing because I'd be like, he kept doing this. So then at our house, he started being like this because he knew he'd get in trouble if he touched it. So it'd just be like this, and then I'd watch him, he'd be like,
Yum, it's like he never got hungry.
yeah, he's like, I am surviving off my own mucus.
Yeah. Well, and then and I know at our house, I'd hear him. And I'd look over, and his face would be shiny.
Oh,
He would look like an alien off of AVP or something like that. Crazy.
all right, we're back.
You're welcome for that, you guys.
And we are talking about mucus coming from kids' noses when they're sick, and how they just wipe it away with their arm and think everything's good.
But it is, right?
Oh man. Well, let's just. I mean, going on that kind of thing. I don't know how many times that, as an adult, I sit there and I'm like, get your finger out of your nose. Stop eating it. When it's like dripping down and they're doing the thing. And then I think back, I'm like, $100 I did that probably until like grade 6. Until I could.
Maybe even later.
Yeah. I mean, how many times were you in the snow and then you'd be like,
we play hockey, man.
it's like my beard is a little
nothing
frozen
is more gross than athletes who go like this. You know, when they push one side of their nose closed and just hawk a big old booger out on it. On the ice is the worst. Because this is where it gets me. I coach the 8 and under kids, and they eat that.
They zam it.
With the cleanest water. Yeah. I can't tell you how much it grosses me out to be out there skating around and you see a brown spot on the ice, and you know that's because it's where a dude had a chaw in his mouth and he spit. Because he had a big old hunk of tobacco in his mouth and he spit on the ice, and it's just a big brown. And your daughter licked the ice so much one practice that her tongue started to bleed.
Yeah, it's she really likes snow and ice cream.
Yeah. She's coming off the ice. And I was like, Barry, watch it. Her tongue is bleeding. Seriously? Yeah. She was licking the ice. She was face down in the ice for a good solid 5 or 6 minutes. Just licking away.
Apparently we left the mics on last show.
What?
Yeah, you forgot to turn the mics on last show.
Says who?
Says Dave.
I forgot to turn the mic on?
Yeah, I'm blaming you because I can turn your mic down. They won't hear you.
That was on you, dude.
Nope, tell you.
You run the board. I just come up with the stupid stories.
Your face. No, but yeah, have kids.
They're fun. They're walking petri dishes. They're good for your immune system because you're constantly sick, so your body's constantly doing something.
The one thing that, because I know some people, and I know not everyone can have kids and stuff, but I've talked with people so my sister-in-law doesn't have any kids and she's older, and they're probably one of those where they're like, no, I'm content. I don't need kids. She teaches, so she deals with kids daily anyway. And people don't get it. Your life is different every day. There is like yes, my daughter, she'll get up, she wants breakfast, but it's never like eggs all the time. Sometimes she'll wake up and she'll be like, I'm hungry. You're like, oh, what would you like? I want to eat a chicken. What?
My favorite. I'm hungry. What do you want? Mac and cheese. 2 noodles later, I'm full.
Right? But then what ends up happening? You're like, okay, fine, whatever. Nom, 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 nom. That's why we get the dad bod.
Dad, I'm hungry. Really? I just ate all of your food. Oh, yeah. Kids are so much fun.
I do like it, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's an adventure. It's an adventure.
Every day is an adventure.
And you never know. And like there's times when like I took her to tumbling this weekend and just sitting there and watching her have the time of the life doing the same thing for a half hour.
Well, before we came here, we were doing my bathroom, right? And your Persephone was playing with my kid daughter's toys by herself. She didn't want to leave because she was playing by herself. To go home to continue to play by herself.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she wanted to come to the radio show. And then she was very upset. And this is also happening while she's pooping on the potty. This whole conversation.
Your kid, man. She gets it done in a long time.
Did she flush?
No.
Yeah.
The little parting gift.
It was just like, I didn't remind her to flush. I wonder if she flushed.
Oh, my other one doesn't do it. I flushed. And then she goes in there. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm like,
hey, we've all been there.
Dude, that's an island. That's not a floater. Did you know that the Earth has been sucked into a black hole?
And we're just living the same loop?
I don't know. Who would know?
Did you know that we've actually been living the same story for 100 years?
Same story of
the
what?
Earth is caught in a loop, so every 100 years it just resets.
Oh, are you talking like the Matrix? People believe that we're actually in the Matrix.
I'm just trying to start a conspiracy. What's the big problem with that?
No, well, that's one of the conspiracy theories I just read, but that one doesn't seem so outlandish. Actually, some scientists have theorized that we could live in a black hole because we don't know what's in them.
I'd like to find out one day.
Like the reason our galaxy is the way it is because the gravity of a super black hole at the middle of our galaxy is keeping it that way. That's why we're following around in a circle. We're all slowly being sucked to it.
Well, we don't spin in a circle. It's kind of like an oval.
Whatever.
Just
Spiral.
saying.
It's a
and
spiral.
like the Earth does this.
And I don't know why scientists ever thought this, but they thought we were a flat disk. But nothing works that way. Like when things like the Big Bang, right? Why would everything just go flat and not every direction? It just goes flat.
Well, just stretched out like a pizza pie.
Like a pie, right?
We got spun up, spun around, and then put on one of those sticks.
So we're
like a plate.
a pan, and just need somebody to tilt it a little bit.
No, as soon as you said pan, I was like the shield.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just like the people that think the Earth is flat. We've done that rant.
I made a video about flat earthers.
What? When?
Yeah, I actually have a full-fledged edited video of a flat Earth rant.
When? Of ours?
No.
Because ours was amazing.
So in Havre here, I kind of wanted like film to kind of happen a little bit. So I started doing that. And then, I mean, I had my sister passed away and that cost some, made it so I didn't get back into it really. But I did do one. And I had one of the local talent here, Martin, him and Angela, they had written a script about a flat Earth documentary, and we filmed a flat Earth documentary, and it was supposed to be like two guys in the garage making this video, and it was pretty funny because we just made fun of it the whole time, but they tried to be serious about it, and we even we put dinosaurs on a flat thing to show how they got launched off into space. So the meteorite hit and the Earth flipped up, so they launched into space. And then at the end, we had one of the guys was looking at his phone. He's like, wait a second. The Earth is round? And then we had the two of them take him and put him in this room because he's going crazy.
What gets me with the flat Earth thing, and we've done this. I mean, you guys can check out you can't anymore. Maybe we'll throw
We do have the podcast still. I got the copy.
Well, we could throw it up on YouTube or something, maybe.
Yeah, we could.
People fully believe it. Like, they legit believe that the world is flat.
Well, I mean, the thing you got to think about, too, is like, so there's some things going on right now. I don't want to get into what it is, but that we go, how do you believe this?
Right.
And the one thing that people got to realize is if you're going to believe something, you're going to believe it. It doesn't matter. Like, you could be wrong.
But the thing is like you guys got to watch it. It's on Amazon. It was on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you watch it, if it is anymore. Beyond the Dome, under the dome, something like that, or Beyond the Curve. It's a documentary that follows around these 4 flat Earth guys, and all of them are doing different experiments to prove that the Earth is flat. They each do experiments, and every experiment they do disproves that the Earth is flat. And the only thing they can say is, our evidence is inconclusive. It's only inconclusive because you're coming up with, and that's not science. You're coming up with the solution that doesn't fit your hypothesis, so you think it's wrong. That's not how science works.
Yeah, I think that's a big misconception that people have with science, is they believe that it gets you all the answers, but it's the answers that you want.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works.
No.
If you're actually doing real science, you have a hypothesis like, I believe that the Earth is flat and I'm going to prove it. But you have to have the mindset that you could be wrong.
Your data could tell you it's not.
And if it's wrong, then you should be able to have that mindset that goes.
The very best thing I saw for a guy trying to, and it wasn't on this show, it was on something else. It was a YouTube video of a guy proving that the Earth was flat. He's like, I'm going to go on an airplane and I'm going to prove to you that the Earth is flat. Let's remind you, for any of you who have been in a plane that's been up in the air 3 miles, you could see the curve.
Yeah.
The guy took a level with him. And just because the level said he was level in the plane, he put it on the floor. He's like, it's level.
That means his plane is level.
That means the Earth is flat. No, it just means your plane is level.
Well, I mean, Derek, and I think I said this in our podcast.
I said that in the podcast.
I could take a level right now and put it on the floor here.
You could put a level on. You can put a level on a tennis ball, and it will show that it is level, as long as you hold the level properly.
I don't know.
It's just like, wow. I don't. And the ice wall that surrounds us that keeps the oceans from running over.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anybody that is listening is a flat, I'm hoping like our basement dwellers that I know listen are just laughing their gut off thinking about these freaking flat earthers, because we've flown around the world. And that's a straight line.
No, that's another thing they believe. They believe we don't fly around the world. That planes don't take certain ways because you can't fly around the Earth.
Those are the people that know the truth.
Yeah, but in fact, we fly over the North Pole a lot because it's shorter.
No, I kind of wish I knew a flat earther so that I could ask them where the cutoff is then. Like, where's the line? Like, what's closest to each ice wall?
Right.
On the east of
and they believe that the sun and the moon are in our dome, essentially. We're a giant, according to some, we're a snow globe. And I'm like, where do eclipses come from then? And if this were the case, if the sun didn't go underneath us, it would be daylight 24 hours a day.
It is sometimes in the northern hemispheres.
23 and some odd minutes. Yeah. But because I looked at, oh man, like we got done gaming last night and I looked outside, it was like 10:30 or 10:40, and I'm like, it's still kind of light outside. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, it actually kind of sucked because I was like, maybe I'm going to kill off my wife's character. She couldn't be there, so I got to play hers.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at her.
No,
character.
You're not. You forgot a lot of stuff. It's a good thing I was there to remind you.
Yeah. I'm better at knowing what I got to do.
What you got to do?
I got to make my cape flutter and punch things.
Yeah, you do. So, we didn't talk about the game we got. We just
Dark
got Dark Alliance 2
Yeah.
for our basement dwellers if you're out there playing. It's fun.
It is not like, it's a $40 game if you buy it.
Steam. Yeah.
You can get it if you have the subscription with Microsoft there. But I don't know. It kind of just reminds me of almost every other kind of game like in that genre.
Don't buy it if you're gonna sit there and go through it yourself. I think you're gonna be very disappointed in the game.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
It's a little glitchy. It's not.
I kind of like when we play together, and I'm like, "Where the heck did you go?" That's like my favorite.
Because we just rab on each other the whole time, like, dude, ninja looting.
And then I'll be like, or you will. He'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get this chest over here while I'm still killing things. Good luck, man.
I'll be back. I'm back to heal you.
Yeah, I'll come back. We're gonna heal you, or I'll put a heal down, and you're too far away to get it.
Yeah, just missed it. But it's a game to get online with your buddies and play some really iconic characters. The thing is like when I started playing as Wolfgar. I was like, do I get the hammer? I mean, because that thing, no, you don't. It's kind of like, and then you play Dritz, and they each have their iconic weapons, and you're just like,
Well, I kind of like that the armor could look good and horrible at the same time. Like I had that weird pirate hat on Category
forever, and you look stupid in it. I'm like,
but now it's gone because I got a new hat last.
But you got a full mask.
Yeah, but now I miss the hat because I just saw it.
Wait a minute, why can't I wear a hat and a mask?
Yeah,
right?
What's that about? That's just like,
you just have to.
Why can't I wear 4 magical bracers just over top of each other? Why can't I put bracers on my legs?
Your feet? Because it's a rule.
Yeah. What about Dritz?
That was pre-Dritzed.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's why he is godly.
He is.
He has wrists on his ankles.
And as we're playing through the games, I'm like, there is no way they could give us the full powers of these characters because we would just
the developer specifically said that they had to make it so that everybody was slightly unique. Because what were they going to do? Make it so that Dritz could do everything?
Because he could. I mean, honestly, he could.
So they said they wanted to make him more like a rogue type.
Oh man, when I go invisible and I hit something, the damage just gets ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I do like at the end of every single thing, it's like I've triggered like 120 team.
You get like 800 kills, I get like 50, but you sit there with your bow and it's like you just like pop shot people. And I'm like,
what happens is they go around you. And her main attack is like an AoE.
Yeah, so you drop them all, and I'm like, I got one.
I hit and they explode, and I'm just like, yep, yeah, he's not doing it.
I take a lot of the big bad's attention. Oh, that Beholder fight was pretty rough there for a while there. I thought we were going to make that one.
Oh man, today I did, because I just did it on level 1, but I got through to the dragon.
Oh,
we should go. That was a hard fight just on the first one.
Icing, yeah.
It's his
Icewind.
Yeah, it's his mate.
Well, it's Icing Death's mate. Yeah.
It was pretty just a fight.
For those of you who don't know, if you're into fantasy novels, I recommend the Dritz series. They're fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for a 3D printer that's showing up.
You gonna paint some minis?
I'm gonna paint some miniatures and run my very first real Dungeon Master, but I want to do it with miniatures because that'd be more fun.
Minis are fun.
And that way, it's kind of more in person.
Well, and I think, and my biggest issue is how to get, and I've run games for the last 15, 20 years, is how to get players engaged to where they care about their character. Like, oh, I died, I don't care. Like, a member of our groups like messaged us yesterday, I can't play anymore, and then this happens a lot because just kill me off. I'm like, you're a level 10. And for those of you who don't know anything about tabletop games, especially D&D, it's not easy making it to level 10.
Well, this goes to show you. So Sammy was busy last night.
Right.
She literally threatened to beat me up if anything happened to her character.
And I knew this. So when we got in that spot in the game, I was like, and I gave you the option. I was cool with letting you do it. But if you got her killed, you have to deal with the consequences, not me.
Yeah. She is way better at playing that character, but I mean, it's because she's put more thought and time into
And
it.
she's played it since
And
the
like, I mean,
beginning.
if I gave somebody my character, they'd probably just do stupid teleporting things. But you get one.
I'd punch you.
Yeah. I almost, when we were in that one situation with those guys talking, they've been like, you can't pass here. I was going to teleport behind them, be like, go like this way, and just make them be like, what the?
So, yeah. But I'm actually kind of, what you're going to wait to do that until you get all the minis made?
Yeah, I want to at least have everyone's minis and the monsters that we would have to fight with the first like story.
Right.
Of course, things might go a different way, but the whole point is to direct everybody to the path of the story, right?
First of all, as a person who's ran games for several years, it never works that way because
No, but I mean, when you're following the book, you are trying to make so they follow a path.
you have to be ready for them to not follow the path because that's just the way players work.
I'm pretty sure I can just make it be like, oh, okay, you go this way.
And it depends. You're going to borrow one of my campaigns. I have a couple of campaigns that are called sandboxes, which means they can go wherever, whenever. Those are the hardest ones to run because you have to be prepared for anything and everything. Or you could do the more straightforward, more railroady, where you're kind of forced to go in a direction.
Well, I think that one would work a little bit better due to the fact that I want every combat to have the right miniatures in it.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Come on, like you guys would be like, I walk into this room and I'm like,
well, what kind of adventure are you looking to run? Like I got one where you can play in the Underdark and you take
I don't know, Derek.
and you take on Demogorgon.
The first thing I'm gonna paint is an angel type person.
Don't you want to make a mini of Demogorgon?
Well, how big is it?
About the size of my phone.
Then yeah, that'd be fun. But
And then ours are like
the one thing that like I was reading though is like, so when you buy a 3D printer straight out of the box, it'll print okay, but there's settings within the programs you have to tweak to make it look great. So I've got to find the right settings before I start printing too.
yeah.
So I've already got it. I like everything was on sale, so I've got like a crap ton. I've got enough to make. It's supposed to be able to make about 500 miniatures.
Well, one of the things I saw on a 3D printer I saw is, well, the one that you have, I'd imagine, is a subtractive, right? It takes material away.
No.
Or is it one of the
So
ones
I
that
put like this. It's like this plastic string.
Yeah.
And I put it in the top, and it. So most of them, what ends up happening is the nozzle moves. Mine, the nozzle stays still, and the base moves.
I've seen one that used like a liquid, and as it built it, it sank. It was really weird.
That might be a resin. Those are resin ones.
And those are supposed to be super.
Yeah, I was debating.
They're
between
super
them.
expensive, but they're super detailed because of the way they work, and you don't waste material. That's the best part.
But the problem that I ran, so the one that I got to build like a basic mini of like a human, so like scale it the size for D&D, is going to cost me about 6 cents. If I did a resin one, it'd be 50 cents for that same size.
But the detail is crazy.
But some of the things that I've read and looked at, a guy, he gives you all the settings for the program he uses. He's like, you put these settings in, and it almost looks like it's written. And I'm a little bit of an artist, so I think if I did that and maybe got like a mini buffer, you could probably buff it down to.
Well, you're gonna have to get them out. You're gonna have seams, and you're gonna have that.
I'll figure it out.
But
It'll take some time.
Yeah. I just don't know what I want to play. I do get to play in your game, right?
Maybe.
You're gonna borrow all my stuff, and then I don't get to play.
Be like, you could watch.
You can film.
How about you?
That's
draw.
creepy.
You get to draw the maps.
I thought you were gonna print them.
Once, but at the start, it's going to probably be like those maps that you draw the map on.
Oh.
And then
You do know I work at a print shop, right?
I thought you already had maps. I see them rolled up. Don't you?
No.
Oh, then yeah, you work at a print shop. That's one thing I don't do. I don't really push a print button.
I do.
I know it's more than that, but that's what I said on the golf course today. I'm a designer, and I send it to printers to print it up.
Right. But no, we actually had a job in the other day that I thought was really cool. It was a map for D&D, and they're like, because they didn't know what it was when they were up front, the two girls. They're like,
"What is this?"
She's like, "Well, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with gaming." And then, because I was walking through doing something, and they're like, "What's that for?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's for a game." Yeah. Somebody created their own world and had their own map made. It was huge. It was like
Really?
a couple feet.
That'd be crazy.
Because I could have one printed, just a grid map. So you just have a basic grid, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is just get like if you get a
I do have,
grid, then
and Tyler left a lot of his stuff when he moved. You can just draw on their square grids. They're not very big. They're poster size, and you just draw on it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Just because if I get the book, then I can pre-draw the exact map.
That's why I use Roll20, because it gives you the maps, and I put the TV in the table.
Man, I would love to do that. You know, if we had...
Well, I have the okay to do anything I want with that table in the basement.
If we put a TV in it, and then we could use Roll20, and then you could use the miniatures on the TV.
Well, I've done that. I did that before you showed up.
No, you haven't.
I did that before you.
No, you haven't done it. Nothing happened
Before we met, nothing happened. I would have to switch TVs, though, because that TV I have downstairs is it's a plasma screen, and it gets hot. So I need a legit flat screen with a piece of plexiglass over the top of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So
that's going to be my next project. I mean, if we get this house that we're putting an offer in on, man,
you're going to be building hockey pads.
I will be making 100% legit.
I almost asked you, how do you have all this time? But then I remembered.
I have lots of time. The question is how much money is my wife willing to give me? Man, we ran it on for like a half hour almost there.
Yeah.
I'm going to play one song, and then we'll come back and finish off.
Finish it off.
I just wanted to play Tom Conquering. So life is a highway.
Life is a highway. Because I want it my way.
That's right. Yeah, so apparently we left the mics on, which I've been leaving the mics on.
Well, stop saying we. Like, I touched that.
No, I said, but it is we because it's our show. So, but ever since I've done this, I've left these on.
Uh-huh.
And the guy came in on Monday, because I guess there's a guy who does a show on Monday, and he's been complaining because he has to keep turning them off because he can't hear the music.
He can't push two buttons?
Yeah. Yeah, all he'd have to do is be like, I guess.
That's hard?
Yeah.
No one listens to his show.
I know. We have a following. He's jealous.
Jelly. He just wants us off the air. It's conspiracy theory. What are you looking at?
We only have 2 people watch. Just our wives watching.
Yeah, and it's been jumping from 1 to 2.
Amanda's been being like, ugh.
Probably.
D&D.
Done.
Sammy.
I was playing Legend of Dragoon the other day, and all of a sudden I woke up and I had my phone in my hand, and I really was asleep. I was in the middle of a battle. Oh.
I remember when I was young, I used to, because my mom used to go around and visit people all the time whenever I'd go down to see her, and I was like, I don't want to go around. I want to play some games. So she would let me take a little TV that you could carry and my Nintendo or my whatever I was playing. I remember I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and I was laying on a couch playing in this person's house, like in their little sunroom like this, and I just remember being like, how long has this battle been going on?
Have you ever walked into your kids' room when they had their tablet and their tablet is on their face?
Yeah.
And the volume is cranked, and you're like,
oh yeah, and it's not even nice. It's just like,
and it's just, and you're like, how? Like,
yeah.
The sheer impact that hit me in the forehead would have woke me up.
Well, it's probably one of those, And I mean, your kid,
Which
hits
one?
himself.
No, this is my daughter. My son doesn't watch the tablet, so
Yeah, he's gonna get there soon.
he's into Mickey.
Yeah, I noticed he was watching that Mickey Mouse.
He's
Club.
getting more into TV, which is going to be great because then he'll leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, I did like it when Persephone would actually watch the show for about an hour.
I love playing with my kids, but I need some time. All right, like I get home, like for some reason,
Daddy's gotta save the 9 rooms.
No, not even that. It's just like I just want to sit on the couch without him jumping on me 30 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
Because he loves this game where he's like, well, you're on the couch, so I have to climb over you.
Oh my god, yeah, that day that you and I were both there and he kept running back and forth.
I love the kid, but sometimes, man.
Yep.
But he's at Grandma and Grandpa's this weekend, and they have no idea what they're in for.
Well, Amanda's there to corral a bit, right?
Well, she's got to go. She wants to go into town and do a little shopping. And Kingston's okay for a couple hours, but if you get in for more than a couple hours, he gets to be a bit of a handful.
Yeah, he was okay at our place as long as he was with the girls.
Well, and you always have the playmate. Like he doesn't, and at home he doesn't begin to become a problem until Aurora's not in the room or she's outside or she's at the club. And he looks at me like, "Hi,
you're the only one left.
I'll play with you."
Even if you don't want to.
Right?
Oh.
And
all right, and that was highway. I just wanted to do it like that.
Ow. What? Oh. Why is your shirt faded weird?
Because I've worn it a lot, and it's a cotton-headed knitting muggins. I wore it because I knew we were working a bit today, and it's one of my comfy shirts.
But it's faded to yellow on one side.
This boob gets hotter.
So when I was working in the newspaper, I said that guy came in that dropped off the paper shipment, the semi-driver. He was wearing a sweatshirt, and you could totally tell that he sat with his arm in his window. His sweater was just nice and solid black, except for this arm. It was faded to almost like a reddish white. You know how black gets when it fades out? Mm-hmm. I was like, his arm must spend a lot of time in the window for that. It was crazy.
That's a job I couldn't do.
Oh, I have a tough enough time just driving back and forth to like the in-laws' place, like 4 or 5 hours. Like I get to the point where it's like, okay, man, it's time for you to drive.
I just pictured me being like that guy that's like, I have to back this up.
A 60-foot trailer.
I would only drive U-Hauls.
Can't even back up my pickup with nothing behind it. It's like, I got to pull forward. What for? You got lots of room. What are you doing?
I just keyboard, I guess, is
Velcroed down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fall. Doesn't? No, I doubt it.
I just never noticed it.
We're simple creatures who don't pay much attention to anything.
I really don't.
You didn't notice I got my hair done today? I didn't. But you wouldn't have noticed anyway.
No. We talked about how I wouldn't notice.
No, because we're guys. We don't notice stuff like that.
Well, I'll notice, like, I would sit here and I would notice it if you probably had, like, some devil horn growing out. But I probably wouldn't say anything.
Isn't that the weirdest thing when people do that? Like you got something stuck in your beard or a booger hanging, and people don't say anything about it. They just stare at it. Like
I love doing that, but I go the next level. I start telling other people to look at it and not tell them. Like I love it when you've got you've been maybe painting and you might have went and had some on here and you wiped thinking you didn't, and it's smeared.
I guarantee you that I do this a lot. It happens to me all the time because I work around ink. And so if you get you get on that on your hands and you make one little, I got to scratch. Now blue or pink or whatever color I was working with, I got war paint on.
Well, just keep in mind that I will never tell you if something is on your face.
I know.
But if it doesn't seem like it's a funny moment, I will.
Right. So
if it was just you and I'd probably say something. But if Amanda was there, I'd wait and see if she notices too.
Because I know one night I was working on a newspaper press, and to put ink in, this was a double stack, so you had to climb up a ladder, but you had to get down low to put the ink in it. And so I was squatted down, and my balance fell off, and I tilted forward, and I headbutted the trough that all the red ink was in. So it looked like in a movie, a bad horror movie, sliced across my forehead. Just terrible.
So you just came back and was like, Amanda.
Well, and the thing is like the ink is oil based, so it will kind of absorb into your skin a little bit. So and it's magenta, so it's not red when you get rid of most of it. It's pink.
Nice.
The worst is yellow. Like if I'd get yellow on my hands, I'd look like I had my liver failure, like I was all jaundiced.
Oh,
we are.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock.
It's time to go work on my shower. Oh. Are we done yet? No, we haven't even started.
Yeah, no, we are done the show.
Oh, we are done with the show. You guys are so lucky. We're leaving.
Yeah, we should post pictures on our Facebook when your shower's done.
Is that how it started, or is that when you guys are done?
I don't know. We can take a picture.
Because we haven't done it before. No, because I always
take a picture.
I always do that. Like I should have done it before what my shower looked like before we tore it apart.
But we should do it at least now, so you see that you did do it.
I did do it because we. Actually, you're going to do a lot of it.
Well, I'm actually going to force you to do a lot, and I will just be there to help you.
It'll get done faster, and we can play video games a lot quicker if you do it.
I know. Like I told you, I said I'm going to teach you how to do the tiling. I expect the tiling to be done eventually.
It's going to be crooked as hell.
No, I'll teach you.
You'll teach me.
Because I was taught once.
Teach me, Barry. Teach me.
Give a man a fish, right?
All
right. Well, thank you for listening to Average Rants. We are off to build a shower. And yeah, you've been listening to us at KNMC.
We both can fit in it.
Yep. All right, we're out.
We're out.
Here's your regular scheduled program.